I'm reading, she would say back to them, but her teacher would move on to the next person. Always, when it was her turn to read, her teacher had to help her with every single word. While the other kids moved up into the second reader and the third reader, she stayed alone in our neighborhood. Trisha began to feel different. She began to feel dumb. Okay, so now we're going to take a moment and we're going to think about how Trisha feels when she can't move on to the next reader. You should each have your reading notebook and a pencil with you on the rug. I want you each to take 30 seconds and either write or draw in your reading journal what you think Trisha is feeling when she can't move on to the next reader. Okay, I'm going to give you 30 seconds starting now. Okay, now can someone please raise a quiet hand just like this and tell us or show us what you wrote down? Yeah, wonderful thinking, Jalen. We do know that she begins to feel different because it's stated right here on this page. I could circle the word different. It also says she begins to feel dumb, and that is not a good feeling to have. Okay, I'm going to keep reading now. But it was not long after that night that her grandma must have let go of the grass because she went to where the lights were on the other side. And not long after that, Trisha's grandpa let go of the grass too. I'm going to think for a second. So I think that letting go of the grass means that her grandparents might have passed away. And I predict that that's going to make Trisha sad and make school much more difficult for her, since her grandparents always made her feel so loved and supported, and they're not on the earth anymore. And that's how my grandparents make me feel too. So I'm a little sad for Trisha right now. Okay, now I'm going to keep reading. When Trisha tried to read, she stumbled over words. Ka, cat, ran. She was reading like a baby in the third grade. So there's a few difficult words in this sentence. One word that I see is the word stumbled. It's a bit of a difficult word. So we're going to think about this question. What do you think the word stumbled means on this page? Now, I'm going to reread the sentence. When she tried to read, she stumbled over words. Ka, cat, ran. Now, when I say go, I want you to turn to your rug buddy. You should know who that is, and I want you to discuss our question. What do you think the word stumbled means on this page? And try to use what we read in the text to back up your answer. I'm going to give you guys 2 minutes, and it's okay if after those 2 minutes you still aren't 100% sure. Okay, now go. Okay, awesome job, class. I love to see you talking with your partners. I heard some great conversations. Now, Armando and Ethan, can you share with the class what you think the word stumbled means? Okay, that is so close. It's actually the definition of stumbled if you use it in a different sentence. Can another student share why the word stumbled doesn't mean to fall down, like Ethan and Armando said, and share what it actually means in this context? Yes, thank you, Ellie, for sharing. So the word stumbled in this sentence means that Trisha messed up her words when she was reading and that she just made a mistake. And we can tell this because if you look at the sentence, she kind of messes up her words. She's trying to say the word ran. She says ka, cat, ran. So she messes up a little before she gets to her final word. Okay, great job, guys. So now I'm going to keep reading. Mr. Falker looked hard and mean at any kid that teased her. Now, I'm thinking a little bit to myself about Mr. Falker. I had a teacher just like Mr. Falker when I was in elementary school. Her name was Miss Sellers, and she always helped her students after school. She helped me with my math when I was upset because I was struggling with math. And this makes me wonder. I wonder if Mr. Falker will maybe help Trisha with her reading? I don't know. We'll have to see, but that's kind of what I might be predicting right now. Okay, Now I'm going to keep reading. But they weren't tears of sadness. She was happy, so very happy. So, I want to think for a second. Why is Trisha crying at the end of the story? So I want you to think about this question silently for a minute. The question is, why is Trisha crying at the end of the story? Now, point to your brain if you're ready to use your thinking caps for a moment. Okay, great. I see 50% of the class has their hands on their brain and is ready to think. Now 75, now 100%. Okay, so start thinking independently about this question. Why is Trisha crying at the end of the story? After thinking independently, we're then going to share as a whole group. Now think. Okay, eyes on me in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drew, can you share for me why you think Trisha is crying? Yes, yep. So raise your hand if you agree with Drew that Trisha is crying because she's so happy that she can finally read and that they are happy tears. Oh, Drew, everybody in the class agrees with you. Amazing. Also, I loved how you used the illustration to help you figure out why she's crying. Okay, now, we just finished the book and I really enjoyed that book. But now that we're finished reading, we're going to jump right into our discussion of the book. Now remember, our goal for this lesson was to be able to use words like first, next, and last to describe Trisha's feelings about school and reading and how these feelings change throughout the story. Can I have a student restate our goal for us? Thank you, Catherine, for that really great definition of our goal. Okay, we are now going to use details from the text to support our answers and help us answer the question about how Trisha's feelings change from the beginning, or change throughout the story, from the beginning of the story to the middle of the story to the end of the story. So, now, we're going to go over some rules for our discussion. During our discussion, you should have your lips zipped and your eyes on the person that is speaking. You should raise a quiet hand if you have a thought you want to share. Okay, I want everybody to give me a thumbs up if you understand those rules. Okay, great, let's get started. Okay, so during our reading, we talked about how Trisha felt at first at the beginning of the story, when in first grade she couldn't move on to her new reader. Because remember, she began to feel different and dumb. Okay, so I'm going to add that event, which was the beginning of the school year, when she couldn't move on to the next reader. I'm going to put that on our graphic organizer right here as the event. And then, right here, I'm going to put the feeling on our graphic organizer that she's having. And we said that she was feeling different and dumb. And if you remember, we used the text to support us there. Okay, so now we're going to move on, and that was at the beginning of the story, that was first. We're going to move on and think about how she felt next in the story. We're going to think about how she felt next when she moved to California for her mother's job. So, I want you to sit and think for 1 minute about how Trisha felt when she was moving to California. I see Jordan thinking. I see Carly sitting quietly. Now, can one student raise their hand and share how Trisha felt when she was moving to California? Yeah, thanks for sharing, Corbin. So if y'all didn't hear him, Corbin said that Trisha was sad, and he knows that because in the text it said that she didn't want to move to California. He is absolutely right with that. I can see in the text that it says that she was sad, or sorry, it doesn't say that she was sad. I apologize for that, but it says that she didn't want to move to California, just like Corbin said. I really liked how you used the text to support what you were saying. So now I'm going to add that piece of information to our graphic organizer. I'm going to put the event if she was moving to California. Then I'm going to put the feeling was that she felt sad. Okay, now I want to know, did anyone think anything different than Corbin about the question about how she was feeling? Okay, so you think Trisha was excited. Awesome.